Dear students, a great welcome back to Nimbra Secondary School online YouTube channel. I'm your social science teacher. Here, today we are going to discuss about the topic Neolithic age. Previous class we discussed about the Paleolithic age and the Mesolithic age. After the ages, we can going to enter a new age, that was Neolithic age. We know that the first two parts of our stone ages, that was Paleolithic age and the Mesolithic age. Paleolithic age and Mesolithic age. In these two ages, that was the people began to live in caves and also hunt animals. Hunt the animals. In these two ages, the people began to live in caves and hunt animals. After these ages came up a new age, that was Neolithic age. In the Neolithic age, it was made up of two words. It was made up of two words, that was Neo. Neo, it was new. Neo means new, and lithic or lithos. Lithos, it was stone. So we can conclude the stone and the new, we can conclude it was a new stone age. New stone age. The Neolithic age is also called a new stone age. The names of different classifications in stone ages that are given by the natural of its stone. It was the Paleolithic age. They are used rough stones. They are used rough stones. In Mesolithic age, they used small stone tools, and it is also called the Microlithic age. And the Neolithic age, the people began to use polished stone tools. So we are called, this Neolithic age was the people began to use the polished stone tools. It was the main feature of this Neolithic age. The man began to use polished stone tools. Now let us discuss about the different peculiarities of the Neolithic age. Different features of Neolithic age. The first point, it was the people began to use polished stone tools. The people began to use the polished stone tools. With the help of polished stone tools, the people can very easily hunting the animals. They can easily for hunting animals. It leads to the scarcity of animals. The extensive hunting. Extensive hunting leads to the reduce the number of animals, that the scarcity of animals, and it affect the scarcity of food. It was the main reason for beginning of cultivation. The scarcity of food, it was the main reason for beginning of cultivation. One of the important question, what are the major reasons for beginning of cultivation in Neolithic age? The first point, the scarcity of food. The environmental changes behind the Neolithic period and the population growth. It was the three main reasons for the beginning of cultivation. The first point, it was the scarcity of food. And the second point, environmental changes. And the third point, population growth. These are the three main reasons for the beginning of cultivation in Neolithic age. The beginning of cultivation. Okay, all the students have a doubt about how they acquire the knowledge of cultivation, how they acquire the knowledge of agriculture. Cultivation means the agriculture. How they acquire? It is simply said that in ancient period, in ancient days, the people led a nomadic life. They led a nomadic life. That is, in winter season and the rainy season, the people lives in caves. In that days, the people may eat the fruits and throw seeds to outside of the caves. These seeds sprout out and grows after a long period of their nomadic life. They returned to the caves and they saw that seeds, the earlier eaten seeds, are sprout out. This is the main reason for the acquire of knowledge in agriculture. It was the reason. For the convenience of the agriculture, they began to settle down in river valleys. They began to live and settle down in river valleys. In river valley place, they got the fertile soil for agriculture and irrigation facilities and transportation for their agricultural convenience. These are the three main features of Neolithic age. The first one, polished stone tools, using of polished stone tools, and the beginning of cultivation. That was beginning of agricultural. The agricultural convenience that led to settle down river valleys. These are the three main features. In this period itself, man began to rear animals for food and also for agriculture. It is the main feature. In this period itself, the man began to rear animals for food and agriculture. The cattle were used for both food and agriculture. Cattle rearing. The cattle were used for both food and agriculture. And the major crops in agriculture, it was wheat, barley, jute, and different types of tubers such as paddy, plantain, etc. These are the major crops in Neolithic age. That was wheat, barley, jute, and different kinds of tubers, paddy, plantain. These are the major crops. And also the wheels were used to carry goods from one place to another place. Wheels. They are making wheels for transportation of goods from one place to another. These all features are led to a collective life, that are social life. The people led to a collective life. These are the main features of Neolithic age. The first one, used polished stone tools, and the beginning of cultivation or beginning of agriculture. This agriculture as going to leads to settle down river valleys. The agriculture also leads to rear animals for food, and the major crops that was wheat, barley, jute, and different kind of tubers, paddy, and plantain. And also in agricultural, in the wheels were used to carry goods, and these all features are led to the man began a collective life. These are the main features of Neolithic age, and one of the important thing that was agriculture or farming is an important feature or peculiarity in Neolithic age. Now let us discuss about the technology developed in Neolithic age. Okay, the first point is the wooden handled stone axes and sickles were used. The wooden handle axes, stone axes. The wooden handled stone axes and sickles were used for the purpose of the wooden handled stone axes to cutting trees, to hunting is the purpose of wooden handled stone axes. The next point is made pots of clay. Many clay pots are made by the Neolithic man. And the next point, wooden wheels were used for making pottery. The clapboards making that using by the wooden wheels. The wooden wheels were used for making pottery. And the next one, rafts were used for transportation. In water transportation, the rafts were used for the water transportation. And also the last one, the ornaments were made of stone, wood and bones. The Neolithic man viewed such ornaments made by stones, wood, and bones. The next technology developed in Neolithic period, it was the plough and spade were made of wood. For the agricultural development in Neolithic period, it was helpful for making. They are discovered the plough and spade were made of wood. And the next one, the fishing. It was in the fishing they are using the fishing hooks. In fishing they are usually fishing hooks. Harpoons and fishing hooks were used for fishing. Also the cloths. In the Neolithic man wear such cloths of jute fibers. Jute fiber cloths are wear. So the cloths woven out of jute fibers were seen using needles fashioned from bones. So we can conclude that bones needles are used for sewing the cloths by jute fibers. It was the technological development in Neolithic period. These are the technological development in the Neolithic period. During the Neolithic age, human life became widespread in all over the world because they cultivate more and more food production. The agricultural has developed more and more, so the people are migrated to another places for the agricultural lands to another agricultural lands. These are the main reason for the human life widespread in the Neolithic period. There are three reasons behind the migration. The reasons for migration. The first reason, it was the population growth. The population growth in the Neolithic period, it has a very increasing scale. So the next point, it was the cultivational land. In agricultural reason, the cultivational land is another important reasons for migration. They are going to another places for agriculture. The last point, the development of the transportation. The development of transportation. These are the three reasons for the migration of the people in the Neolithic period.
Dear students, now let us look about the important Neolithic sites. In India, the important Neolithic site is the Edakal Caves in Wayanad. From the cave paintings in Edekal curves, we get information about a wheel cart, hunting, agricultural, cattle rearing, and the use of polished stone tools, etc. These are the information we get from the Edekal curves wall paintings. There are a lot of different Neolithic sites in the all over the world. The first one, the lake village in Switzerland. It is an example for dwelling in the lake were constructed using logs, animals, skins, and mud. It is an example for dwelling in the lakes were constructed using logs, animals, skins, and mud. The next one, the Jermo in northern Iraq, is another important Neolithic site. In here, we can see the mud huts with a stone foundation. Mud huts with a stone foundation and sun-dried bricks walls. Sun-dried bricks walls. It is an example, and sun-dried mud roofs and stored and exchange food grains, and some storerooms are we can see in here, and it is an example for exchange food grains. These are the major important Neolithic site in the all over the world. The first one, Edekal curves, it is in the Kerala, the Wayanad district, and it is we get information about such a wheel cart, hunting, agricultural, cattle rearing, use of polished stone tools, etc. Okay.